Okay, in this video tutorial I'm going to be using Invoke and Affinity Photo. It's like Photoshop. You can use pretty much any editing program. So with this said, there's all kinds of ways you can do things, so I'm just going to kind of do a certain way right here, so don't be subjective to do exactly what I do. So there's other ways to do it. So I'm going to select this one here with the eagle here, and I'm going to right click this and I'm going to copy this image. I'm going over to the asset browser here and Control V to paste this here. We're going to open up Affinity Photo, and Control V does not work for this, so you will have to go to File and New from Clipboard. I created a macro, and if you don't know what a macro is, this is a macro. I'm not going to show you how to do this, but when I click this, it does a few things. And I'll just kind of give you an example. It rasterizes the image here, and I go to filter and frequency separation. That's all built in this macro, and it makes it a lot sharper. So keep in mind when you're making a macro, not to get off track here, but when you create a macro in Affinity Photo, you won't be using this menu to make the macro. You will have to go to the Layers tab. So if that makes any sense, that'll give you a little help. Else it won't work correctly. So with that said, I want to do a couple things to this helicopter and this eagle. Anything that you can do in here, you can bring it back into Invoke. Example, if I wanted to use the clone brush and press Alt here, and if I wanted to bring this bird over here, then we could do something like this. We'll Control Z that. I do not want to do that. So what I want to do is I want to change the color of this orange here. So we'll go to the adjustment, and it's called HSL. I'm going to choose the default, and I'm going to be using the picker. You notice that you can't select anything to choose a color here. So I'll just choose something similar. Now I'll be able to use a picker, and I will click somewhere on a color. Okay, now these little dials right here, if you squeeze them in a little bit, what this does, it tries to focus more on that color without finding any other colors that it might start changing. So I'm trying to get it to focus on here. So if I move the slider down, try changing the color, so you can see it's changing the bird up here. So I'm not worried about the bird. I'm going to get rid of the bird anyway. It left everything pretty much the same right here. So we'll close this out, and we're going to go ahead and merge this down. Now we're going to get rid of the bird. So to get rid of the bird here, we're going to go to In Painting, and it's called right here, In Painting Brush. You can use the bracket on the keyboard. It tells you to do an outline, and once you start it, don't let go, okay? And if you need to increase the brush size while it's still held down, use the brackets. You don't have to be precise, so I like to make it quite big anyway, so you don't have to do a lot of tracing. So we'll just kind of overshoot it a little bit, and we'll come to an end here. And when you're happy with what you got here, we'll let go. And I left a little straggle right here. We'll click here. I'm just clicking it, and it's removed it. Alright, now we got this layer here. Control C, and we're going to open this back up, and we're going to Control V. Now we want to compare the two, so we'll just drag this over here. Now we got side by side, the two difference. We can use the slider. You can see the difference. And we got Hoover. What the Hoover does is, if you see where my hand is at the top, as soon as I move down into the canvas, you'll see the bird, the eagle will pop up and the color of the helicopter changes. When I bring it back up, then everything goes back to the other way. So whatever you prefer. And you can exit it right here. Okay, we have another image here. Okay, I'll pause the video and you can still see my prompt from the older one. We got an option. You can right click and you can choose recall all, or you can press the star here. I want to do the prompt. There's always different ways you can do it. You can select here and use prompt. The problem with use all is it will put the seed in here, and we don't want the seed, especially when we're doing layers. Hotkey to change this would just be, once you're selected, just press P and you can see the prompt has changed. So with that said, we'll right click this one here and we'll select over here to copy image. We'll open this back up. We're not going to paste it here because it's going to paste in right above the helicopter, so we'll just go ahead and delete that one here. And I'm going to new from clipboard. I use the macro, and like I said, these macros will save you a lot of time. If you don't know what a macro is, it does different steps. You can do 10 or 15 different steps and it records it, and you can do it in one click. In Photoshop, I believe it's called Action Script. So with that said, what we can do with this one here is we can select the selection brush, and we'll go around here a little bit pretty quick. And once you get it completed, we'll refine the edge here to make it a little bit smooth. So I'll crease the smoothness a little bit, the feather a little bit. Kind of give it a little blend for supply. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to layer, fill layer. Then you get something like this. We're going to get rid of the selection, so that will be Control D. Now that we got this one here, this layer selected, okay, it's going to only select that, so we're going to Control C this, come back over here to invoke, and Control V this. Then you get something like this. So if we go into the layers here, I got a bunch of other stuff in here. We'll just delete all that stuff. So I'll go back in and let's see where I was at. We'll do a rasterized layer here. That always gets me every time. See? One here and one here. You need to create that one. So with this raster layer here, we can right click this, and there's going to be some options here. We don't want to do, let's see, we got new from InPaint. We do that, then we get something like that, okay? And there's another option if you right click and just use InPaint, it replaces it without duplicating it. So with that said, let's bump this up to 7.5, and I got this sent over to the canvas right now, and I'll put in with a tattoo on her arm, and we'll let this run through here. I set it to 2, and I'll pause the video. Then we get something like this. We can cycle through here to see which one we like. I like that one here, before and after. We'll press accept. We'll go ahead and hide that there. Now, if I wanted to remove it, of course, I could do this. Just uncheck it. But for some reason that she already had a tattoo on her arm, and I wanted to remove it, we'll just take this one here and drag it down. Well, no, we'll right click this and we'll merge down. I'm sorry. So there's really no way of getting rid of that tattoo now because it's stuck. As example, if this was just a basic image. Okay, but we can remove it if we just come back up to here, and we'll just take out the word tattoo, and we'll just do it again, and I'll pause the video. Okay, that's done. If we select this show results, there was a tattoo without the tattoo. Choose which one you like best, press accept. And if you hover over here, you can see the one that it created. Of course, you can merge this down too. Alright, let's go into the next step. Alright, we're going to use a clone brush, and I'm going to alt click the corner of her hair up here, and I'm going to come over here and put her in this little box here. The more I drag, the more it comes out over the same ones. And it's got different settings right here for the flow and everything. So if I'm happy with that, or I want to still keep on going, maybe a little, then we can get something like that. There's all other things that you can do in here. It's we got liquefy here, and we got pinch. We can make her nose big. Control Z that. Let's see what else we got. Punch. That looks a little bit better. Make her face a little smaller. And you get something like that. Control C. And we'll come back over here and Control V. this over to compare. That's kind of cool. And you can see it like that. Here's the Hoover. And the slider.